So I arrived in Melbourne. I didn't know a single person. I went to YMCA. You know what is YMCA? Young Men Christian Association. It's a organization of Christians. Because Philippines is a Christian country. 80% of the population are Catholics. So they told me that YMCA used to give us a free hall, and I used to give free lectures every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And they knew me very well. So they said, Dada, we really don't want you to go, but if it is your mission, I suggest that when you go, first you contact YMCA, because they have cheap accommodation. So I became the member of the YMCA. And I arrived in Melbourne. I took a taxi with the straight to the YMCA. And then it was weekend. I think it was a Friday or Thursday, something like that. And then I went, I took a bath all night. I had not slept because it was an all-night flight from Manila to Melbourne. So I took my bath, I did my meditation, I went to sleep. I got up, I was very hungry. So, but I had changed only enough money because first I thought I will pay for the YMCA just for a day. But I paid for the 2 days. So, the money I had left was not enough. And I did not know that here they don't accept US dollar. Australia. And that time Australian dollar was higher than the US dollar. And also you cannot just change anywhere. So since it was a weekend, the banks were closed. So I had no money. I said, never mind, I fast. So that day I fasted. Next day, I said, let me go out. So just in front of the YMCA, there is a main road. After you cross the road, there is a very beautiful wild botanic garden. And it was a autumn time. I said, oh, that's very nice. I'll go there and do my meditation there. So, I was crossing the road and I was in full orange clothes. Anybody can notice me. I was crossing the road and two young men were going, they were coming from this side, but they were going there and I was going there. They saw me, they said, hi. I said, hi. I went to the park, they went to town. And then I was just wandering in the park and I was thinking, okay, now it's time for me to go and sit and do my meditation. And then again these two young men met me in the park. And then they introduced me, I told them, I introduced myself, and then they said, that if you don't mind, we are here in the park to celebrate the birthday of one of our friends. You know, it was a hippie time.
Hippie times, yeah. So you're going to come to
Even though this young man, he comes from a rich family, he could have celebrated his birthday in his home or in a hotel and all that. But revolt, you know. So there were about 12 people there in the group. And they said, if you don't mind, you can join our party. I said, okay. And of course, I was so hungry in the party. So much food, you know, bread, cheese, many things. And they asked so many questions, but at the end it was these two brothers who became most interested. And they said, Dada, you are paying so much money in this YMCA. With that money you can rent a flat. You know, they call flat, not apartment. So the next day, no, after I met them, and then they said, Dada, you are new here, you are here only for a day. There is another party tonight. And they told me it's a rock and roll party. I never knew what is rock and roll party. And we are going there and we can take you there. If you don't mind, you can come. So they came at 11 in the night. They were both only students, but one of them had a car. So he came and he fetched me, brought me to this rock and roll party. Wow! Such a noise, you cannot talk to anyone. And everybody was in some trip. Some was in smoking marijuana, some was in LSD trip, somebody even took heroin, you know.
Have you tried?
Absolutely.
You got the answers.
And then, no, I'll give you an answer, don't worry. Then, I can hardly talk to anyone. And even the food, they were all that I cannot eat, you know, meat and all these things that I don't eat. I have not eaten for a long time. So anyway, but I cannot also go back because I have no money. And the second thing, these people, they might feel offended. So I decided to stay, but at 3 o'clock in the morning, they said, let's go back. But the party went on. We went till 5 or 6. They brought me back to the YMCA. I slept. Next day morning, they came again with a newspaper, helped me to find a flat. And I paid to them. There you pay only weekly. So I paid for a week. And but the flat was dirty. So I told the owner, can you please get the flat cleaned? But when I moved next day, Monday, the flat was still dirty. So I had a very poor impression about the owner, but I cleaned the flat. And then I told these two young men, can you take me to this Theosophical Society? You know Theosophy? Have you heard of Theosophy?
Yeah.
It's the organization which deals with mysticism, occultism and all this.
And you were sent.
Yeah. And they have a big headquarters in Ariyar, in Chennai, in Madras.
Yeah.
Very beautiful place, very big place. So, they found out where it is and they brought me this Theosophical Society office. Center, you can say. And then I met the secretary and the secretary, I said, I want to meet the president. She said, oh, he's very busy. I said, okay, he's very busy, but that's your job to make the appointment for me. So you call him. So she called and he agreed. He gave me an appointment. So after 3 days, again these two young people came. They brought me to the Theosophical Society. And I met the president, and then he showed me around, you know, this is this room, the whole center. And actually he was looking for a room where two of us can just sit down and talk personally. But all the rooms were busy. So finally he came back to the office and we talked, and I told him about Anumarga, about what I am doing, and I told him, if you can organize a talk for me with your members, I will really appreciate it. Then he thought for a while and said, Dada, I would really like to hear you, but you know, we have everything planned and booked until October. It was the month of April. They have lecture only once a month, and they have the topic and the lecture fixed from May, June, July, August, September, October.
Yeah.
So I can only give you after October. But maybe that's too long for you to wait. But you feel free, you can come here and you can meet the members informally, you can talk to them, you are always welcome. So then I was very disappointed and I was leaving. Then I was leaving, another man who was listening to our conversation in the office room, he approached me and he said, Dada, I can organize a talk for you. Oh, I said, that will be great. He picked up the phone, he talked to someone, and said, Dada, your talk is after 1 week in such and such place, but you don't have to go any there. You give me your address, then come and pick you up. I said, very good. So after 1 week, they came and they picked me up, and they brought me to a yoga center. Name is L-Wood Yoga Center. I still remember the name. And I remember the name of the teacher, yoga instructor, Vera Rundas.
Indian also.
No, she's from Czechoslovakia. But those days, Czechoslovakia was communism.
Yeah.
So she cannot teach yoga and meditation there. So she migrated to Australia.
Okay.
And she has opened this yoga center. So there were she was teaching Hatha Yoga, basically asana and breathing exercises. But she herself was interested in meditation. So she had about 200 students. out of that, she has formed a group of students who are interested in meditation. And they used to meet twice a month on Saturday. So that was their meeting. They were also looking for a speaker. And this old man who has in the Sustainable Society, they were friends.
Okay.
So that's how he could. So I gave a talk, and after the talk I announced that I'm looking for a place to stay because I'm not satisfied with this flat. But main reason was I had a very limited amount of money, and I was thinking what will happen when my money finishes. So at least I get a free accommodation, food I can buy and manage.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything, but they liked this lecture so much that they decided to organize another lecture after 1 week, a special lecture where they will invite their friends, and all that. And then after everybody was gone, this lady, she brought me around. That this is the yoga room, this is kitchen, this is the bathroom, this is garden. And again she said, if you don't mind, you can stay here for free.
Wow.
So I contacted these two friends. They came the next day. They brought me to this, from the YMCA, from that flat to this yoga center. And when we arrived, this lady, yoga instructor, she has already cooked curry and rice because we arrived about 1 p.m. And we all 4 of us ate the curry and rice. And she put me in the room and everything. Then after that, I gave another lecture in her place. And many people came to learn meditation. And I taught them meditation. Then what I used to do, noontime, I would go to the University of Melbourne. It's a big campus. I go on the roof and I see people are, it was summertime, so they take their food from the canteen and they sit down in the sun. And 3, 4 or sometimes 5, 6 students, they sit down together and eat their lunch. So I will go to the roof and I will watch which is the bigger group. And I will go to them, can I talk to you for a few minutes? I introduced myself and I started talking about yoga and meditation. And then I tell them if they are interested to know more, they can come. And most of these people, they came to me to learn meditation, they were into drugs. So, but they became so interested that 2 of them decided to stay with me. But of course we cannot stay in that yoga center.
You cannot give additional accommodation.
No, because she had one person is enough.
True.
There is not enough. But she told me, Dada, you can start now your own center. But I said, I have no money. She said, you know what? Because you were saying from Australia you will go to New Zealand. So I have talked to some people and they gave me some money for your ticket to go to New Zealand. So I had some money for you. And she helped me to look for a flat. One flat I rented, small flat, the owner is living downstairs, I'm on the first floor, and half of the size the living room, quite big. Only one room, bathroom, toilet, kitchen. And so she paid for 1 week and 1 week in advance. That's the system there. And next day I moved to this place. So, and after that, I met so many people. And these 2 young men came and started staying with me.
Okay.
And they became so interested. One of them, his father was a lawyer, a well-known lawyer. So one day he brought me to his family and he introduced me. And the father was felt so obliged with me. He said, Dada, I have tried everything for my son to stop, but he never stopped. And how is a miracle? How you make him stop taking the drugs? I'm so happy. And then they helped me to make so many contacts. Both of them were the students in the University of Leicester. So you look at it, you go back. on that day in the Theosophical Society, if the president found a separate room,
Yeah.
then this man who arranged this lecture, he will not listen and nothing will happen.
Yeah.
So what I want to tell you is, everything is a cosmic plan.
Mm.
And everything happens for a reason, for a purpose. Everything is causal. You know what is causal? Everything has a cause. There is no such thing like accident. Whatever happens in our life is an incident. There is no such thing as accident. You don't know the reason, that's why you call it accident.
Mm.
But if you know the reason, then you will not call it accident. It's an incident. So, why you are here today?
Excellent.
Definitely, we all are searching for something. We all are looking for something. And you are also searching for something. You are also looking for something. That's why you are here today. Maybe you will find it, maybe you will not find it. Depends on you. And one time I was in Melbourne giving a talk to a group of people, very small group, maybe 7 or 8 people. And then I usually start a talk, in my talk, by asking a question. So I asked this group of people, what human being needs most today?
Mm.
So different people gave different answers. But one young man said, slow but constant pushing.
Okay.
Slow but constant pushing. I said, you are right, but you have to add one more sentence. Slow and constant pushing towards the right direction. So what human being needs most today is the proper guidance. That's it, proper guidance for what? So that we can evolve, we can grow, and we can realize our full potential. When we realize our full potential, that is the time we realize our true self, our infinite self, what we generally call the soul or the consciousness. The philosophy of yoga is a philosophy. There you study the human nature, you study the human being. And when you study the human being, you have to consider 3 aspects of human life: physical, mental, and spiritual. So to realize our full potential, we have to develop ourselves physically, mentally, and spiritually. And you cannot develop yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually, even if you read hundreds of books, even you attend so many seminars and workshops and all that. You cannot. To develop yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually, you have to do some practices. Theoretical knowledge, intellectual knowledge is not enough. Of course it will give you an understanding. But if you are a lazy type, it cannot, that intellectual understanding will not force you to put it into practice. And that's why you need a guide. You need slow and constant pushing. There are 2 ways to learn. One is called outer suggestion and another is called auto suggestion. Auto suggestion is you suggest something to yourself. Suppose there is a person who is sick. He keeps thinking all the time, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy. After some time, surely he will become healthy. Because the nature of the mind is what? As you think, so you become. This is auto-suggestion. But this is also called outer suggestion. Somebody is suggesting something to you. For example, the students are in the classroom and the lecturer is explaining, giving a class. That is called outer suggestion. Lecturer is suggesting something and they are learning. So there are two ways to learn. Outer suggestion. When you are reading books, what it is? It is outer suggestion. Book is suggesting something to you. And by outer suggestion and outer suggestion, we can transform ourselves. To transform yourself, what you have to do? Have you ever thought about it? What practically you have to do? To develop, to realize your full potential in the physical, intellectual and spiritual plane, what you have to do? Practically, tell me.
Change our thoughts. Change our thoughts.
How?
Practice.
How?
The practice.
Huh?
By being conscious about it.
Yeah. But that is a way. But you have to do something more than that. Because you cannot be aware of your thought all the time. Because our mind is conditioned already to think in a certain way, to act in a certain way. You get up at a certain time in the morning, you go to washroom, you wash yourself, take your breakfast, go to work. You have a lunch break, you eat your lunch. You finish your work at 5, go back home, rest and relax, you see some movie or internet, take your dinner, go to sleep, next day again. We think mechanically, we act mechanically. So we live like a machine, like a robot. We never have the time to stop and ask, why I am doing this? What for? What's the purpose of my life? Is this really making me happy? In order to transform ourselves, we have to change our way of thinking. Why? Before you do anything else, you think. Thought is the mother of every action. Before you came here, you thought of coming here. Otherwise you would be sitting at home doing something else. Or going somewhere, visiting a friend or something. So first of all we think. And then we translate this thought into action. And when you keep repeating certain action again and again, it becomes your habit. And when you form certain habit for many years, 10 years, 20 years, 15 years, it becomes part of your character. And your character determines your destiny. Say for example, I have a student and she does not smoke. Then I taught him meditation, started doing meditation, and I met him again after 6 months. And he started smoking. I said, what happened? Why you started smoking? He said, Dada, I'm sorry, but I have all my friends who smoke. And whenever I go to them, meet them, we have things together, they suggest me to try once. So first time when I tried, I felt very uncomfortable in my chest. And I said, no, I don't want. I don't want to. I will teach you how to do meditation. And you do this meditation sincerely, regularly, twice a day. Maybe it will take 6 months, 1 year, or maybe it will never happen that you can stop gambling. But definitely it will help you in some other way. So he started doing meditation. Then I met him after 5 months again and asked him how you are. Dada, I am so thankful to you. I stopped gambling. Oh, I was surprised. Really? He said, yeah. I don't even have now desire to gamble. You can say, oh. So what's happened? He changed his way of thinking by doing meditation. So when you change your way of thinking, you change everything. So, I met another person, and he was a chain smoker. And he said, Dada, I feel so heavy in my chest. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, and because of this, I cannot sleep properly. And I really want to stop this habit. I have tried everything, but I cannot. So I told him, okay, you attend our yoga retreat for 2 days and 2 nights. And in this yoga retreat, you are not allowed to smoke. So you first think, you are not allowed to smoke there. He said, doesn't matter, but I want to attend this retreat. So he attended the retreat, and after the retreat, again I met him after 1 week, and I asked him, are you smoking? He said, no, I stopped. How come? Then I thought, change your way of thinking, and everything will change. And do you know, according to the WHO, World Health Organization, 90% of the cancer of the lungs is caused because of smoking. So if you have a habit, you have to think. And the most difficult cancer to be cured is the cancer of the lungs. So it is very important what we think. So, as our friend says, Samir, you have to change your way of thinking. And how? Then he said, you have to be aware of what you think. You have to ask yourself, why I am thinking this? And if the thought is negative, you have to ask yourself, if I can change this thought, I can think something positive. So, that is one way. And another way is to practice meditation. Meditation is what? Meditation is a process by which you change all your thoughts. You try to transform all your thoughts into one thought. Because when you sit in meditation, you will have a storm of thoughts. So many thoughts. And sometimes you will think, especially in the beginning, oh, I'm just wasting my time. I'm getting nowhere. And your mind is obsessed with all these thoughts. And mostly the thought is about the past or about the future. So, you feel, I have not done any meditation. So, when you do meditation, you have to transform your thoughts and have only one thought. This process of transforming the thought is a long and lengthy process. It can take months, years. But it is not impossible, it is possible. So, and when you meditate, when your thought becomes less and less, as you start doing meditation, your thought will become less and less. Your mind will become more focused, more calm, more concentrated. And then Maybe a day will come that you achieve this state of having only one thought. And this thought should be I am infinite. I have no limitations. I have no bondages. I am free. And when you keep thinking, I am infinite, I am infinite, I am infinite, with your focused mind, I am saying that there should be only one thought, not so many thoughts. Then one day you will really feel you are infinite. And that means what? You will feel that you are not just this physical body made of flesh, blood and bones. You are not just your mind, you are not just your ego, you are not just your intellect. But you are the true self. You are the soul of the consciousness. This body is limited, body is finite, this body is going to die one day. Mind is also limited, mind is going to finish one day. But the consciousness, the soul, your true self is eternal, immortal, and infinite. So, you try to link your mind with your soul. And you feel, and so.
Where is the soul?
And the infinite consciousness.
Where is the soul?
Huh?
You said connect your mind with your soul. Where is the soul?
Soul is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent.
Yeah. So when you say connect to it.
Yeah. Yeah, you connect it with this entity.
Okay.
You know? So, and to connect with this entity, you have to make your mind focused. And then you have to have only one thought. And to make your mind focused first, you have to sit down and do meditation twice a day, every morning and every evening. Maybe you start with 20 minutes. And the best time to do meditation is early in the morning before you eat your breakfast, before you go out of the house. In the evening before you take your dinner. If you cannot do it before dinner, then you do it before sleep. And when you meditate, the first thing is that you become aware of your thoughts. You watch your thoughts. You observe your thoughts. You have to start thinking, I am not my thought. You have to separate yourself from the thought. You have to only observe your thought. Let the thoughts come and go, come and go, come and go. You just observe like you're watching a movie. One film comes, goes, another film comes, goes, another film comes, goes. You're just watching. So you try not to get involved with the thought. You become indifferent to the thought. And your mind is goaded with only one thought. I am infinite, I am infinite, I am infinite. So this is in brief what meditation is. But there's a process, there are certain steps. And to do meditation, you have to prepare your body and mind. For example, if you have a headache, can you meditate? You cannot. You have a stomach pain, can you meditate? No. So first of all, you must have a healthy body. Now, can you tell me, what is essential, what is indispensable to have healthy body?
Healthy mind.
What else?
Physical activity.
Huh?
Physical activity.
Exercise.
Exercise.
Exercise. Right. What else?
Sleep.
Sleep.
Sleep. What else?
Breathing properly.
Breathing
Your
properly.
breath.
And now I'm talking basically about the physical health. Mental health is another subject altogether.
Yeah.
Physical health. Anything else we can think of?
Well, healthy thoughts are a big part of physical health.
Again?
Healthy thoughts.
Healthy
It's a
thoughts.
big part of
Yeah.
physical
Healthy thoughts.
Healthy relationships.
Yeah. Proper wife. Proper husband-in-law.
But basically,
How come you have
to maintain the health of the body, you need three things. Proper food, proper exercise, and
Drinking water.
water drinking.
80%.
To tell you, water drinking is more important than food. And proper food. But even before that, the most important is you eat only when you are hungry. You eat at the urge of appetite, not 12 o'clock lunchtime. You are not hungry, but you eat your lunch. You are not hungry maybe because you had a heavy breakfast or a late breakfast or whatever. But you go ahead and you still eat the lunch. Because then you say, oh, I will not, it's a lunch break. I will not have time again to eat. I will be hungry. But if you are not hungry and if you miss one lunch, nothing will happen to you. You are not going to die. After all, why do we eat? What is the reason for
To survive. To live.
Nutrition, to give you energy.
We eat to get energy to work.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is the first source of energy? Food or what?
Air.
Huh?
Air.
Breathe.
First source of energy, air.
Breathe.
Air. You get oxygen from that. We call in yoga prana. The life force. So, air is more important than food. What is the second source of energy?
Water.
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 Yes.
That's why I say water drinking. What is the third source of energy?
Food.
No, not yet.
The sun.
Third source of energy is sunlight. Food is only the fourth source of energy. So if you miss your lunch, you have still three sources of energy. You are not going to die. You can still work. So, when you are not hungry, what we should do is drink a lot of water with lemon juice and little salt, not sugar, not honey. Because the lemon water and salt becomes a highly alkaline water and it removes all the toxin from your body. The reason that you are not hungry is the food you have eaten before is not properly digested, assimilated, and the toxin eliminated. That is the reason you don't feel hungry. So you take a lot of lemon water with salt. Or you may take fresh orange juice, which has citrus fruits. Or, another pomelo juice. Or you can even take cucumber juice. These juices will detoxify you, clean your body internally, and then you will feel hungry. So, first thing is to eat only when you are hungry. Now, what is proper food? It's a very, very controversial subject. And you may say, oh, each person can have their own proper food. Yes. Basically, there are only two kinds of food. Alkaline food and acidic food. And our body needs about 70% of alkaline blood and only 30% of acidic blood. So your food should be 70% alkaline. Is it correct?
Yeah.
Your food should be 70% alkaline, only 30% acidic. All kinds of meat, fish, chicken, eggs is highly acidic food. It produces too much acid in your system. And when you have too much acid in your system, you will start suffering from acidity. And if you have more, you will have ulcer. Then the doctor will tell you you need surgery. But actually, even if you have ulcer, you don't need surgery. You can cure yourself. And if you have much more acid in your system, you may get a stroke. I know of a person who got a stroke because of this acid in the system. So, sooner or later, you have to select the food which is alkaline. And that's basically fruits and vegetables, nuts, beans, all these kind of foods, which is what we generally call vegetarian. But I'm not telling you that from tomorrow you become vegetarian.
From today.
You can take 1 month, you can take 2 months, you can take 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, but you put in your mind that one day you have to become vegetarian if you want to maintain a good health. There's no other way. So, vegetarian food, even among the vegetarian food, white rice is very acidic, white bread is even more acidic, fried food is very acidic, processed food is very acidic, canned food is very acidic. And then you'll say, oh, what is remaining to eat?
Only the sun, no?
No, still there is a lot of things to eat. If you look for it, you will find. So, proper food is very, very important. And sooner you change the habit, the better for you. Because as you grow older and your habit becomes longer and longer, it takes more effort to change your habit. When you are young, it's easier to change your habit.
I'll ask you a question. How much is the longest you have been on fasting? How much is the longest you have been on fasting without food?
Without food, 3 days, 3 nights. And that was not only without food, without water also. I have done many times.
Okay.
3 days, 3 nights. One time I did 14 days, only drinking orange juice and water. 14 days. I didn't eat any solid food. Only orange juice and water. And I survived. After that I felt so good. My body became so light as if when I was walking, I thought I was flying.
Why are you not practicing it?
Huh?
Why don't you continue doing it?
Why I am not continue doing it? There are so many things, so many factors.
The most important one is?
No, because when you would do long fasting, your mind also goes very high.
Yeah.
And it's difficult for you to relate to the people on the ground. But I had to relate to the people. So, I eat normal food, but I am basically vegetarian. I have not eaten meat since 1965, when I became a monk.
How old are you?
73.